I'm going to quickly preface this by saying this is my own gameplay. This is on a Smurf in around Platinum. Platinum also Elo, Gold sort of Elo, maybe mid-plat. I don't know, I get some diamonds in there. It's just kind of like one of those Smurf queue games. Either way, this game, I do a bit of inting. Start the game off very weak. I'm getting very frustrated. There's a few things that I'm trying out in this account. I'm just trying to take it a little bit easier. I'm trying to play more calculated. I'm trying to take less risks. I have the chat turned off. Just trying to play my own game the way that I know how to play it. So far I'm having pretty good success. This account's doing pretty well so far. It's not doing incredibly, but that's because I also tanked it at the start of the season. So far the games since I've restarted this account and changed the IGN have been fine. We just kind of like juggle out Jax's autos there and then dodge the E. So the whole idea behind this game, like honestly the score is something insane at one stage. It's like 3-14 or something like that. We're going to see how we are able to turn this game around using barely what is a lead. I think I'm barely even a lead. I just have a little bit of a CS lead. Jax into Riven lane can actually be pretty challenging as well. I think it's actually slightly Jax favor. It just depends how good the Jax player is. As you can see, I'm putting a fair bit of pressure on this guy. He doesn't have any flash, so he doesn't have flash, so I'm really looking to get him low enough where I can do a flash out play. He does have the TP advantage though, so I have to manipulate my wave correctly, or otherwise I'm going to be in a bad spot. I am aware that volley is coming top lane here, but I'm pretty sure that I can kind of, if I just stack the wave correctly, I can do a 2v1 or at least get first blood. So I know he's pathing top here. We're just trying to take it like a little bit slower. You see me getting Jax pretty low with those sort of free trades. Jax has no E, so I just flash on him straight away. I know I'm going to die, but I want the first blood. Doesn't matter. Well, I could have flashed away either way, but we're a little bit bloodthirsty. Let's just continue. We're kind of going for like a little bit of a limit testy sort of account, but also trying to stabilize and be more consistent with my playstyle. So we go for the Caulfield's Warhammer straight away. I was in like a pretty big rut of playing Prowlers for ages, so I'm kind of going back to Gordrinker because I found a really good setup that I like, which is Gordrinker, Lucidity, straight into Cyrilda's Grudge. So for you that don't know, Cyrilda's Grudge actually procs off the Gordrinker active, so it kind of works like Stride Breaker. It slows them, which is really strong. Like if you Gordrinker a bunch of people in a team, you can even use it to like catch up to people. It's really good. But as I said before, we have a pretty rocky start. Like even now, I really should just like back off and just kind of like let the wave come in. As you see, I'm not posturing too aggressively, but like I should be a little bit more patient. Either way, yeah, we play Gordrinker. Cyrilda's is the new setup I'm going for. It's working out really well. I really like it. And I'm really aiming for that 8.5 CS per minute mark every game, regardless of whether I'm winning or losing. It shouldn't be a factor. I should always be up at those 8.5 CS per minute marks. I find I'm playing the best and I'm climbing when those CS marks are being hit. It's just like a more consistent playstyle. I was lucky that Jax W'd the minion there, actually, that would have hurt. So yeah, as you can see, this game's starting off a little bit rough. Lucian's dead, Cat's dead, and this action's like a 97%, or 90% action Smurf. I don't know. As I said before, this is Smurf queue, so it's a really tricky spot, and I really feel for those players trying to grind through this elo, because you never know if a player is like actually a gold player or whether they're just like a Smurf climbing up some like random account or like whatever. And it can be really like tide turning, because you have these games, as I set up a freeze here, I know Jax has no TP, so I can look to get a little bit of an advantage here. You have those games where like there's actually just a regular gold player versus like a diamond 1 mid or like a diamond 1 OTP or something, just looking to get an OPGG account with like all gold win rates and whatever else. So yeah, you just never know with Smurf queue. Sometimes you're going to be against those really good players, sometimes you're going to be against regular solo queue players who are just trying to climb and enjoy the game, which I really feel for. Like even in my instance here, I'm a peaked 500 LP this season. I'm playing against a regular Jax. I'm pretty sure he was like plat or something like that. So yeah, let's just see how the rest of the lane turns out. 1-4 so far. The Ziggs is super fed, Action's fed, Volibear's fed, Jax is behind by a wave and a half. So the whole focus of this gameplay is to kind of just see how it ends up working out. How I look to get myself back into the game, how I look to turn the fights. I do notice that Yi is actively farming and doing a good job moving around the map, so I know that he's someone that I can rely on. Because I just, like with how I said before about Smurf Q and like whatever, I don't know which players I can and can't rely on, because some players, like if I get a pro on my team, I'm like great, this guy's probably going to perform decently, even if he's behind, he's going to like provide pressure or something like that. But in this elo, I just never know who's someone I can rely on and who's actually just like a regular player. So I'm really looking to this Yi to provide a bit of support. He knows how to play his champion, and he knows to play the conditions of that champion as well, not trying to gank too often at all. Just doing these little chip trades on Jax here. I actually go for an all-in here, but the minion blocks me there, and I start to get really frustrated. Pretty much just end up dying here because Jax just doesn't come into me, and he jumps over my wind slash there, which would have killed him annoyingly because I auto wind slashed, but he queued over me. So starting to get really frustrated because I see the rest of the map's losing. It's 1-5. Let me just skip it up a little bit, move ahead. We go for the pickaxe into the Iron Spike Whip, so starting to go still into Gold Drinker. Because of my good farming, I'm still sitting at that Iron Spike Whip. It's really prevalent to me recently, just like how strong farming is. Sometimes I think it's a little bit weak, but just overall it's a really consistent way to get yourself into the game, get yourself levels. I think that's like the biggest thing probably as a top laner as well, is just getting yourself levels. It gives you so many like artificial stats that aren't provided by items. Like you just seem so tanky and you just do so much damage and take no damage. If you're like level 16 on a losing team versus like a level 14 team, like you just seem like an absolute titan. Like you can just take so much damage here. Still freezing the wave. I was trying to set up a slow push here. Yi was posturing topside, so I was like, we can probably die this. I can't really remember. This was played yesterday, I think, or the day before, but either way, we'll just see what happens. Jack's 37 CS, so down 20. Not too bad. Does have a wave coming into him though, so we'll recover a little bit of that. But yeah, so far the game's going pretty well in terms of my farm, but not so good in terms of the kills on the map. I think, no, I can't remember what happens here. One thing that you can do with Jax versus Riven, just W, every time he goes through his W and his little staff lights up, just W him out of it, and then just E, because if you eat it, it does a lot of damage. I know that I have, Volley's probably going to come top again for like the 9th time, so I'm going to ward up. Skip ahead. I also need to like, even in lower elo games, I play too pressury because I know that I can kill the opposing player. I need to like let the wave come out like I would in my own games. I play like way too rushed in this elo, which is bad. I take this kind of like bad trade because I know I have honey fruit here. So something that you can keep in mind as a top laner is if you have honey fruit advantage or you have access to honey fruit, or your jungler's topside as well, you can take bad trades like this, well, like I just took then, because Jax will lose the HP permanently, but I will retain. So Jax used all of his corruptings there. Nice little trade. As I said before, cancelling that W. We eat the damage. Wave comes in, we'll look to freeze. I was in two minds here about whether or not I freeze or whether I keep pushing the wave because I know that Yi is on Herald. I don't want Jax to interrupt it. This Jax keeps basing when the wave state's like really bad for him. I'm not really sure why. This is like an actual freeze. Before it's been a bounce, but this is an actual freeze. I think I get griefed by just creep AI. Jax has TP. Does have Killfield and Sheen. If Jax hits like a W and he's passive with Sheen, it does like 30% of your HP. It's insane how much it hurts. 20 CS up still, and I have the wave on my side, so it's going to grow. 74 CS, 9 minutes 30, not bad. I do have a HP deficit though, so I have to play pretty carefully with my remaining HP. Don't have any TP, no way to recover the lane. See action coming top. Again, cancelling his W with my W, and then E the damage. The play here though, Yi's pinged a few times that he wants to come gank this Jax, and I have both Psalms and Jax only has Ignite, and we know he has no flash. So whenever an enemy top has TP Ignite, it's actually makes the ganks really easy. We know that Jax is here, I warded before. So I kind of look to bait it here. I do have to flash, pretty sure. Oh no, maybe I just run away. Oh, I have Needle's Cloak. Cancel his auto, win slash, easy kill. So as I said before, Yi like recognizes that I'm someone that you can play around and vice versa. So this is like a really pivotal point for us. Getting some gold back on the map, 2-9. My Lucian and Nami are both 0-3. Like this game is literally over in any other. If this is my main, this game will be over and I'll probably stop trying. Which is something that I need to get better at because people make mistakes all the time. Just looking for those mistakes is very, very important. Pushing here. Action has even more farm than me. Ziggs has 4 kills and 2 assists. Like, it's just crazy. Ziggs and Renata swap. I don't really know why. All it does is kind of like put Jax in a worse spot because he's only going to play against 2 players and he's behind already. We have to start playing against Ziggs and Renata. The game doesn't start to stabilize yet. I think it actually ends up just like keeps getting worse as well. And I start getting really frustrated because I'm trying my hardest basically. I'm getting camped really hard. Yi took that kill as well, which I'm fine with. I want Yi to be ahead because I need someone to be able to draw pressure off me as well in fights. Just continue. I'm pinging, as you see in the map here, I'm pinging my summoners and my flash and my ult here because I know that we can kill Yi, we can kill Ziggs and Renata. I E into the bombs there so Ziggs takes aggro. I have flash and Ziggs also has flash, but if you're ever in the situation where you're ahead and the enemy carry has flash and you have flash, it really is your job to kill them. If you don't kill them, you don't really deserve to win with your lead. We have Yi hovering here, Nami hovering as well. So Nami's a bit of a specimen as well. It's like hard in this elo because like you expect people to do things. I wasn't even sure if this was watered when it happened. You expect people to do things and then they just don't do them, and you like that's why I get so frustrated playing on my Smurf. But trying to get better at it. We have everyone hovering topside here. Ziggs, Renata, Volley also. Oh, that's where the ward was. It was so close. I was like, oh, how did they know I was here? Because I go to hop the wall and I get handshaked out of it. That ward just there, I didn't realize it wasn't seen by the pink ward. I was like, how is this seen? I was thinking about fighting this, but no. You guys know well. It's fine. Bonk. Wasted ult, back off. 104 CS, not too bad. 104 at 21 minutes. 12 minutes, sorry. We'll just take the base. Got my Gore Drinker completed with my Lucidity Boots. And the enemy team is making a bit of an overplay here, so Ziggs has no mana, and there's no tower to fall back on either. So let's just see how it transpires. I think they actually escape. Yeah, we get Ziggs' flash, which is pretty big. So in this situation here, where I have flash, and Ziggs is flashing, you see how I ping it there? It's very, very important, if my job this game is to shut down the Ziggs, to ping their flash and like keep a mental note of it. Oh yeah, Lucian starts trolling here because I take my own wave. I'm playing without chat as well, so I can't type like what he's doing, but yeah, he's trolling. 1-4, 0-4. It's pretty crazy to believe that we win this game, but yeah, just watch how it transpires. Jax is down 20 CS still. This kind of just goes to show how ahead the action was. We end up not even getting a kill there, and he escapes, and pretty much everyone dies. Like, I thought this game was literally over. I was like, oh, I was just so frustrated here. I was like, that seemed like the opportunity to get ourselves back in the game. And it's also really frustrating when you're this far behind, and like, enemy has all their summoners still and stuff. So Katarina falls, action survives. Oh, this game was not looking good. 3-16. Let's continue on. So at this point, I realized that I'm playing really recklessly and really rushed, I guess I would say. So I start to just like play my own game, and I'm like, no, we can win this. And I just look to get myself back on the map with farm and levels. Even Jax is like ahead of me, I'm pretty sure at this moment, because he's got a shutdown. Oh, probably not quite items wise. 122 farm, not too bad. 15 minutes, I think it's like 8.5, maybe 9. Lucian just trolling, literally see him behind tier 2 there. This sort of stuff is what I'm putting up with. But this is kind of like what it's all about. Like these sort of games, I literally remember thinking to myself at this point, I was like, I need to slow down and like think about the game properly. I need to stop inting. I need to just take my time. No, I even die here actually, never mind. I think even just here I was like waiting for the wave and she just lets me die and then she just waves after. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, so anyway, I see what the type of players I'm playing with in my bot lane. Game is looking extremely doomed. Nami dies, Yi dies, everyone's dying. Katarina even dies here to Jax, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 4-20. Let's see what happens here. Pretty sure Cat dies. Like, what is that E? Yeah, she's still looking really rough. So it's time just to keep farming, just be persistent. Play the way you need to play. 4-21. Literally everyone's negative, even me. Jax is 3-3-3. I can't even fight Jax anymore. Level 11 though. Level wise, we're still kind of in the game. Let's look to see what happens here. I know that Ziggs has no flash and he's answering me here. I'm pretty sure this is kind of like where... So I walk down because I try to like fake it and look like I'm going down. Let me clear this ward. I can't remember if I kill Ziggs here or not. I don't think it's here. Jax's Frozen Heart completed, pretty scary. So as you see, I'm starting to go on my Cyrilda's build path. So Last Whisper and Gore Drinker. Taking whatever farm that I can, keep myself relevant. You only ever stop becoming relevant when you stop farming, because that's where your levels go. Once you don't have levels, you lose the game. 100%. Levels are so insanely important. Don't think I take this fight because I know Jax has Frozen Heart. But this is where we look to make a proactive play. So I know that Jax is here with no flash. And I know that Yi does basically true damage with Red Smite. And he's true damage passive on his W or E? Is E? So we look to set up a play here. I go for the bait. We wait for Yi to get into position. We go for the bait. We kind of don't think anyone would be here. There's no objectives. Jax is pretty fed. Like, you'd think he could take care of himself. Bait him out. It's pretty easy bait, to be honest. Jax just dies. But we do get a massive shutdown on me as well. Very important. 600 gold across to me, and I hit level 12. Matching the Jax now. We have no more reason to be on the map, so we should just reset. I think I was looking for a bit of a flank here, but we continue to push. I see like everyone's kind of hovering mid, so I'm just going to take whatever I can. Ye's still hovering me because he knows that I'm someone to play around, and vice versa. 2, 4, and 1, 156 CS. Almost caught up the action. 18 minutes. We should just base. Volley smites me here. Still have flash though. Okay. Thank you for that. Excellent. Great player. 5 to 22. Alright, I have my Cyrilda's Grudge. Oh, this is actually a pretty big notable time here. Cyrilda's Grudge completed. So let's see how we make this work. I'm pretty sure Yi just kills this action because he doesn't respect him like at all. There's a sick Q, actually. So he red smites him. That's why junglers are so strong. As you see, this Yi's a bit of a demon. Red smite's so strong. Gets a 1k shutdown onto the Yi. So it's definitely up to Yi and I this game to carry. Getting that shutdown off Jax, I'm definitely stronger than him. I have boots as well. And the utility that Cyrilda's Grudge gives, as well as the damage, like I've said this a few times, I think Riven's a little bit weaker right now. You have to go on armor pen items second, whether that's Black Cleaver, or I personally prefer Cyrilda's, but Black Cleaver or Cyrilda's Grudge. A lot of Riven mains actually go Black Cleaver first. It's very, very nice. Give you 30 haste, as well as 350 HP. Components aren't too bad. I quite like Cyrilda's, but this is kind of like where we're looking to make a fight happen because Yi's already in it, taking out Renata, and we know that action was dead. Picked up the Ziggs shot down there, pretty big. Ziggs did have flash once he's stunned. This is my armor pen item as well. Like you'd think that I don't do any damage to this guy, but because I have a 2 level lead and I have a armor pen item, getting 2 massive shutdowns there. So level 13, action level 13. I know action will be back on the map, so I'm kind of like being a little bit careful. I ping my guy going top here because I want Jax to get tier 2. But as you see, this game's starting to stabilize a little bit. Yi and I both got big shutdowns on ourselves. On 4, 4, and 1 with 172 farm. I've caught up the action and farm. Just by being a little bit resilient. I could have given up on this game, could have started flaming, could have started typing. That's literally the reason why I have chat off. I'm not like the most toxic person, but sometimes I just type and I think to myself, like, there was literally no point to that. It was so counterproductive. I got nothing done with typing there. I don't have ult. In hindsight, looking at this minimap actually, I think because I saw Yi coming, I'm like, oh. No, I did actually have some kind of inkling that Action and Jax would be here, but because I saw Yi there, I was pretty confident that we could fight them even without my ult. Starting to look to make plays happen here now. I do have the items. Starting to go into Death Dance as well, which is pretty big, considering that their top side is all AD damage. Oh. See that nice little slow that Cyrilda's gives? Really, really strong, especially with Riven. Because you can gap close so easily, so you just jump into people. Hit a nice gold drinker and slow like multiple people. I'm not caught here. As you see, Jax is still slowed now because of Cyrilda's. It's just so strong because like once you start queuing on people, there's just nothing they can do about it. It's just, it feels so nice. Give it a try if you haven't tried it. The build path's really nice too. It's just 4 longswords into Corford's Warhammer, Last Whisper. Lucian, despite inting, has still been farming, so he's actually like kind of relevant. Pushing out mid-wave here. There is a bounty on our tower still. Like that's how far behind we are still. I do see Ziggs TPing here too, and I know that he just flashed before. Waiting for him to make a misstep on this tower. Jump over. As you see, Cyrilda's Grudge is like putting in work. Just the slow, so nice. Big shut, oh, not a big shutdown, just to kill Ziggs. This is actually good though, because it takes a lot of pressure off the map. Like they can't really push with it. I think I'm fine here still. I think I get chased, but I'm fine. Cloud Drake's chilling. I think, oh no, they all just knew where I was. They kept chasing. I really greeted this actually. I can't remember how. I didn't know how they actually knew where I was because I walked down and there was no ward, so they kind of just guessed. It was really weird. That was just a weird occurrence in general. Jax has no flash again. New Qs here. Very nice. Get a kill on Jax. Taking more pressure off the map. This is really big because they can't do anything with their Baron buffs. So like they obviously can't start to take 3v4s and stuff. They're a man down, so they just have to let their buff expire. It's very big when you get kills. When people have Baron buff, but they are still really ahead. It's 11 to 25, and we're still 7k goal down. It's definitely not over yet. Everyone dancing. 5, 5, and 1. Now I'm thinking to myself, with Death Dance completed, I'm a bit of a menace. Level 14, I've matched the action finally, the most fed on their team, and I've overtaken him in farm. 23 minutes, 200 farm. I don't want to take any of these Lucian CS because he'll probably literally run it down. Pinging my flash because that's the time when we have to make a play. The levels here are the most important thing. This is actually probably the biggest game-turning fight here overall. I know Jax has no TP, and he's not showing. I see Renata and Ziggs and Volley on this, and I see Action walk over a ward. So I'm just going to pause really quick. I see Action walk over this pink ward, like he goes in his stealth ward and he's like here. So I do see this action, which is like kind of how I know to predict. I'll just speed up a little bit so you guys watch the fight transpire. But this is pretty game-turning here. Just this little micro play. So we see Action walk basically into melee range, even though this guy's a smurf. Pretty interesting stuff. Flashes over, but Yi's Q follows, which is really big. Jump over the wall. Nice real just saving this Yi here. Volley gets absolutely shredded by Yi. And we jump over the wall, kill the Renata as well. This is like easily the biggest part of the game that turned around. We picked up 3k gold out of that fight. 6, 5, and 3, 209 CS. Let's keep farming. Level 15, we've overtaken the entire enemy team in terms of levels. Remember where this game was from as well. Like, we just kept trying, we set up proactive plays, we killed that Jax, we killed the Ziggs. Just a whole bunch of like little things. Kept thinking of ways back into the game, kept thinking of things to do. Kept looking for gold to get, kept farming, kept getting levels. Always things to be done. Push for tier 2 here. Everyone's still dead for a little bit. If I can get a little bit of damage. I think Ziggs ults this or something. Yeah, he does. 226 CS at 24, 25 minutes. So about that 9 CS per minute mark, maybe 8.9, 8.8. Protect the base here. I was contemplating staying. We're looking to go into anti-heal item here. I don't really know why. I think I just had the gold for it. I think I bought like a Kindle gem to go into Black Cleaver, and then I had enough for the anti-heal, and I was like, well, this game could be over after this fight. Bit of a fight breaking out here. I think Yi just is kind of too strong. This Lucian culling is actually quite nice, and Yi is just running around at 8 million MS. So focus on Jax, and then actually watch what I'm doing. Let's go back. Sorry, I've griefed this really hard. Let's just watch what I'm doing. Looking for a flank here. I see the Action and the Ziggs just walked out of the brush there, so I know that I can cut them off. Bro, I just want to watch myself fight. Alright. I see them both here, so I know that I can cut them off. Especially with Cerulda's Grudge, if I get on top of them, they both die. Walk around the minefield, jump onto Ziggs, because I just know Ziggs is in there, and his W was the thing that just knocked me up there. These freaking zombies, bro. Death dance, please, thank you. Lovely. Buff Riven. Took out the 2 most fed on their team, easy peasy. Did have that level advantage there as well though, which is pretty big. That was definitely like, didn't really matter how the rest of the fight went. I think Yi ended up doing most of the work on the other side of the map, but as you see, like the game's kind of in our favor now. We could definitely still lose, like if I had a bad fight or something, we could definitely still lose. They are ahead of us in gold, but not the worst. Definitely have recovered, I think we were like 13k down or something like that. Taking the towers, pretty self-explanatory stuff. This Renata has Anathema's Chains. I'm not even really trying to fight this Renata. I don't really know why supports build Anathema's Chains on the most fed player on their team. Like, wouldn't you just build some more support items? Like, I'm not even trying to kill you, bro. I'd get it if like Ziggs or Action built it. Like, it makes no sense for them to build it, but like it would make more sense if they did. Like, I don't care about Renata. And if I'm ever at the point where I'm just fighting Renata, she's gonna die anyway, regardless of Anathema's Chains or not. Taking more resources off the map, 253 CS. I am a little bit behind tempo. My team's starting to move back on the map again. I am level 17 to the closest on their team is level 15, so we've definitely overtaken levels. Looking to back up just a little bit here. I don't know where Action is, and I don't know where the rest of their team is, so we don't play greedy. Continue on. I have my chainsword here. I think, again, it would just fit into how much gold that I had. And then we look to close the game out with this fight here. Lucian has Cerulda's as well, I think. I think I even missed the hop here, yeah. A little bit too greedy. Big good drinker. Oh, I thought I was gonna die here. Slash. Death dance. Thank you. Not today, my friend. Yeah, game's just over. So yeah, as you see, if you just have like a little bit of resilience and you kind of like try to make, you look for active plays to make, just in terms of your playmaking ability, and you know what to look for, or you can predict what the enemy team's going to do, you can still come back into these games. This game was so far lost. So far lost. I even thought to myself it was lost, but calmed myself down, turned chat off, just played the game that I knew I could play, and it ended up working out. I knew I had Yi to rely on. Like, you still see the bottom side of my map hasn't really done anything. It was literally Yi and I every single fight, just carrying and like killing everybody. But either way, these games are still ones that you can learn from. And it's not like a silver game either. This is still like, what, plat or gold or something like that. I think this was in my like plat 4 promos or something along those lines. So these players definitely know what they're doing to a degree. We also don't look to overplay here either because Baron is up. They could look to make it. It's really hard for us to answer Ziggs in action when they take Baron. Plus, it would give them levels. So we both back off here. We don't look to like overplay and end the game. Overplaying is like such. I've lost so many games to overplaying when I was lower elo. It's like the biggest mistake that you can make when you're ahead is overplaying. You just want to get kills, so you sit in their base or you like rush to end the game. It's just so bad. Like, pretty sure they end up getting Baron because we overstayed. Yep. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit scared here. I was like, oh, maybe we don't kill. Maybe we don't win. Maybe all this work was for nothing. Lucian tried to end the game there, so we're down a person and they have Baron. So they definitely have like tempo advantage here. We have mid pushing though, so I'm not too fussed about it. The next dragon is up pretty shortly too. 280 CS, 30 minutes. Not the best, not the worst. Definitely still kept myself, I'm like 120 CS ahead of this Jax, which is massive. Like, you never want that to happen if you're a top laner. This Jax, the game would probably be over if Jax is at my CS level, to be honest. Because he would be like level 18 with probably his Death Dance finished or his GA finished. Sorry. If Jax could tank a team fight and was level 18, the game would definitely be over, I think. Regardless of how strong I am. So I don't really know what ended up happening here, because I was just, yeah, Yi's just mauling this Jax. I think Yi just ends up kind of, yeah, Yi just played this game really well. Caesar Renata here just needs to look for a Q. Once Yi let loose, like, oh, there's just nothing you can do. Yeah, we just won the fight off Yi being insane. So, Yi still looked for like an avenue back into the game, off me. And I also did some like pretty nice things in terms of like team fights and just 2v1ing and stuff. But that was kind of like what turned the game around, so we just looked to end here. The Nexus is open. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, you learned something, please feel free to subscribe, like the video, leave your feedback. I'd love to hear what you guys like to watch next. I do have a Discord where I offer coaching. If you guys are in this elo and you're stuck and you're having a real big struggle fest, feel free to join the Discord and approach me. Just message me and I'll have a chat to you about coaching. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.